My last television show ever. I gathered 3 of my favourite chefs. We created a dish for each of you. Now, this isn't any ordinary meal. It was actually created back in Scotland. One of the most popular tourist attractions on our island is the Culinary Stones. Really, nobody knows what they're there for, and they are in a pattern in a very strange part of the island, so they're very mysterious. Really gets your mind working as to what on earth they were there for. The Broch is a very special building. It's perched on top of an outcrop overlooking the ocean. Not very many people understand what it's about, but we're pretty sure it was a building that was used for a defense, probably the Vikings coming in, and or just a place for the village to store product and keep themselves warm. How they ever built it way back then is just a mystery to everybody, but it's really quite an awesome sight. In my grandfather's time, the homes that people lived in were called black houses. Earth in between the 2 dry stone walls and a thatched roof, and we have some intact that we can actually stay in. So I brought the chefs there, and I really think they got a flavour of what it was like maybe 150 years ago on the Isle of Lewis. The type of building that the Broch is and the stone houses called the black houses reminded me very much of the Trulli houses down in Puglia that Nicola showed me when we visited there a couple of years ago. And I've allocated yourself, Nicola, Megan Garstecki, who you know. Nicola was the first Italian that I ever worked with. I had heard that Italians were very fiery, but he wasn't. He was very calm, very considerate, intelligent and clever with his food, with the way he cooked, and with the way he helped me develop the ingredients to become a great chef. I knew there was something special about Megan the first time I saw her. Everything that she learned, she took to heart. She did really, really well, and she's going to be a great chef. This is us here in Lewis, and we're by the black houses, and it reminds me of Puglia.
Yes, you know what? When I see this conical shape here, it looks like this dwelling we've got in Puglia called Trulli.
Yeah.
And I'm amazed because it's the same system, you know.
And it's dry, the stone is dry.
Dry stone,
yeah.
Without mortar.
I can't believe that you're here and we met when? 35 years ago?
Well, maybe even more than that.
Yeah.
It was about in the 70s, 78, something like that.
And we both worked in this lovely restaurant. And I remember you helping with the menus, remember?
Yes.
After all these years, we're both here.
And I tell you what, I am really over the moon. Been
Look
here
at this.
in your backyard.
I know.
Seeing the ocean there. I'm going to retire here.
I think I might do that myself. Scotland obviously is famous for whiskey, and now we have our own whiskey distillery in Lewis, which is Aving Jarach, and I wanted the chefs to go over and see the amazing job that they've done over there in Uig with the new distillery. I thought I'd stop at the moorland to show you some of the scenery.
Angus is breathtaking.
The sheep are out on the moor right now, and they're sweetening up because of all the nice grasses and the herbs and everything. So, what about something for Megan? Should we do some local lamb?
Yes, of course, beautiful. I think Megan would love to have something on the sweet taste.
Yep.
So what about some nice risotto with orange, with the
lamb.
lovely lamb?
And then
on the
maybe we could
area.
cook it over some of the local peat on a fire.
Good idea.
With this pungent smell of the peat.
And rosemary.
Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, let's go to the fire.
Okay, vamos. There you go, chef. Here we are roasting this beautiful product that comes from your part of the world here. How wonderful that is, nice and fresh. We'll grill some of this lovely lamb.
Right over an open peat fire.
There you go. It's very, very tender, I can guarantee. And it's well seasoned, beautiful rosemary, a hint of garlic here and there.
I think the flavors combinations she'll really enjoy because she's kind of interested in these flavors. And you see that what happened there with the fat
Yes,
dropping into it and the flame comes up, and I
up.
always used to wonder, how is that happening? And then in the ashes that would fall underneath, my father would put a couple of potatoes.
Yes.
And they would leave them there for
There you go.
a couple of hours, and they would come out. They would just be like roasted potatoes. They were absolutely incredible. I would turn them, chef.
Yes, now we'll give a little twist.
Look at
There you
that.
go.
Look at the colour on that.
Wow.
That's so pretty.
Right, chef, I think the lamb is ready. Can you
Okay.
pass me over the rice, please?
Yes, there you are.
Excellent. Let's plate this beautiful lamb chops
Wow.
for
That looks incredible, Nicola.
this lovely student, Megan.
We have all these hot boxes and things to keep our plates warm and all that. Look, they just left the plate right by the fire. It would be nice and hot.
Very hot.
I think she's going to love that. I really do. Thank you very much for making this for her and coming up with it.
You're very welcome.
Wow, that is amazing.
So this dish was created for you by Nicola Conti.
Nicola.
Yeah, who you know because you visited him in Italy and he visited the college. It's a very simple dish. Lamb is very popular on my island. It's the #1 meat.
This reminds me of when we went to Scotland and we tried haggis for the first time. Well, it was my first time, not yours. And that was an amazing experience for me because I grew up having filet and sirloin and rack of ribs. So you showed me how to use every part of the animal. And for people that don't like haggis, they should at least try it once because it's quite the experience. And when we were in the little shop learning to make haggis, and the sounds were not so appealing when they were grinding everything through there, but it's a delicious product, and I use that every day, trying to use up every part of the animal.
I'm Jake Brenner, and this is CRB 110, Introduction to Brewing. Who's gonna come up here and help me mash in first? Make sure that you're on the right setting for your flow meter. Start adding our caramel malts and our chocolate malts and roasted malts. So now we're gonna start actually filling our mash tun. Remember, once we are mashed in, we're looking for kind of like a wet oatmeal-like consistency. Then we're using 100 pounds of brewer's malt today, so the difference between a porter and a stout, basically the use of roasted barley. That looks pretty good, Zach. Good job, sir. Start making things smell good in here. All right, we look pretty chunk-free. Let's go ahead and take a temperature right now. On average, about 154 right now, right where we want it to be. Yeah, that was a really good mash. Let's start getting set up for an SIP. We'll probably be sparging with 70, 80 gallons, I'm guessing. Let's get our dry hopping poured open. You can't be too sanitary, people. Start your SIP. Yeah, that's nice.